loud, definitely racy, in your face,
boisterous and superficial.
Chick's ass.
Nothing is taboo.
That's exactly what hard rock is. Hard rock is all the collisions. What matters is that they rock and they make sense and it connects with you.
Something that doesn't just go in your ears, it goes in your blood.
Heavy, hard, un-PC, in your face.
Open up a can of whoop ass, period.
This is VH1's 100 Greatest Artists of Hard Rock. I'm Carmen Electra. We're more than halfway into our countdown of the greatest artists of heavy metal, punk, and grunge. In the next hour, we'll pay tribute to 20 more. The list was determined by VH1's massive poll of musicians and journalists. Now, before we get going, check out the artists you might have missed.
Quiet Riot, Mountain, Famous, Halo, Fugazi, yes, Lenny Kravitz, Black Crowes, Danzig, Rainbow, Lita Ford, Tool, King Crimson, Corner, Whitesnake, UFO, King's X, Queensryche, Pixie, Green Day, Rat, Marilyn Manson, Bon Jovi, Spinal Tap, Twisted Sister, Foo Fighters, and It's Gonna Live in Color, Megadeth, Husker Du, The Rolling Stones, Joan Jett, Colt, Steppenwolf, Boston, Ministry, Jethro Tull, The New York Dolls, Bad Company, Anthrax, Hard, Obzon, Blue Oyster Cult, Sonic Youth, Korn, Faith No More, Thin Lizzy, Slayer, Smashing Pumpkins, Janis Joplin, Rollins, Scorpions, Pantera, ZZ Top, Nine Inch Nails, Kings, Ted Nugent.
Although they were often lumped together with early 90s grunge bands, this San Diego quartet was quick to prove that such a label just wasn't going to stick.
Stone Temple Pilots were amazing songs, incredible songs.
That type of music to me that the Stone Temple Pilots does is that straight ahead rock. It's never going to go out of style. Never.
One of those bands that has developed that sound. It's a classic sound. It seems like the band gels really well together. It seems like this group has played a lot together.
Stone Temple Pilots were considered alternative rock, but they didn't really sound alternative. They were continuing on the hard rock thing. They sort of still had that vibe going. I love Stone Temple Pilots.
Great band, really good band, good rock and roll songs in a time where maybe you don't hear as many good rock and roll songs. You know, they just kept the punches rolling, and they're really, you know, they've won me over.
Canadian songwriter Neil Young's 30-plus years in the limelight began in the mid-'60s with Buffalo Springfield. But it wasn't until embarking on a solo career that he was able to fully develop his own sound. Raw, heavy guitar, and lyrics ranging from the political to the personal.
Neil Young. I love Neil Young. He makes rock records, he makes country records, he makes acoustic records, and he does them all really good. I wanna live with the cinnamon girl. I can be happy the rest of my life with the cinnamon girl.
A true star, an original star, a real survivor. To me, he's like a raw force. Totally unique voice. He has that unique ability to sing something incredibly simple, and yet it's totally original.
Is this the story of the Johnny Rock?
I don't know what he meant by that song. I'll take it as a compliment, though. It suits me. I'm in it.
I do like the man a lot. He's the person who's definitely sticking to his guns. Neil's style is so identifiable, you know. His guitar playing has not stood still. It's just continued to get better and better.
Pick Up the Jams, one of my favorite things. This was thrash rock.
The MC5's loud, crude music was the perfect complement to the guerrilla-style activism they embodied. As the house band of the White Panther Party, a splinter group of the Black Panthers, they were for many the musical embodiment of late 60s American radicalism.
They were really rough-edged rock and roll.
He permeated every cranny of the facility.
What the MC5 represented in its music was a sense of possibilities, of a new culture, and the possibility that we could change the world.
When you go see bands like the MC5, the bands and the crowd wrote the rules.
They were just a great, showy, hard rock Detroit band.
Yeah, I don't think that they get the props that they deserve.
When we return, the breeding ground for some of hard rock's greatest guitar gods, and a musical genius gets his due.
Complete visionary, a composer, Beethoven for insane rock music.
VH1's 100 Greatest Artists of Hard Rock continues after this. Formed in London in 1963, this next group's landmark guitar lineup spawned such legendary acts as Cream, the Jeff Beck Group, and Led Zeppelin.
The Yardbirds started the whole thing rolling. They were way ahead of all the other bands. They were fantastic.
I'll give you everything and more, and that's for sure. I'll bring you diamond rings and things right to your door.
When Eric Clapton was in the band, and then, of course, when Jeff Beck was in the band, because of those two guys, I wanted to hear the Yardbirds. So, again, always in search of that other guitarist, something more to learn.
They were so into the blues thing, and so were we. And, they proved that blues could work on the radio with I'm a Man. Yeah, I'm sure that was one reason why we ended up doing Backdoor Man. The Yardbirds was a favorite of mine. In fact, all of us Doors liked them. I saw them play in Santa Monica in '65, I think it was. I wanted to see Jeff Beck, but there was this new guy.
And I know if she had me back again, well, I would never make her sad. I'm gonna
I think that was the first time Jimmy Page had been with them. He was great. They were great.
It was only after they were gone I realized actually the value they had and the boundaries that they pushed open.
Zappa and the Mothers
Just whacked out stuff, you know what I mean?
just out of his mind. Great sense of humor.
Unique.
Experimental music. Mustache. Jazz.
Bizarre jazz bow. Insane musician.
Unstructured. Musicianship.
If you're not a musician, you're not going to even get it, you know what I mean?
Irreverence. It was pretty cool.
I had the pleasure of meeting him before he passed away. He was a very unique guy, just a genius.
I got that crystal
When you listen to his records, they almost sound like what a Salvador Dali painting looks like, you know what I mean?
Watch out where the Huskies go. Don't you eat that yellow snow.
Zappa was just a complete visionary, a composer, Beethoven for insane rock music.
Frank didn't d*** around when it come to getting musicians around him, drummers, bass players, everybody.
He was one of these iconoclastic guys who just refused to knuckle down to the music industry and refused to take no for an answer.
Our next band found widespread success based on a blissful marriage of metal, art rock, and the creative inspiration of its Lollapalooza founding frontman.
Señores y señoras, Juana's Adicción.
What do you even call Jane's Addiction?
I can't describe what they do.
Are they a rock band? Are they a punk band?
I'm glad I can't describe it.
Are they disco? How do you even categorize what Jane's Addiction was? You can't.
I thought that band was clearly a band. It was more than the sum of its parts. I had everything bounced off everything.
That dog song. I loved them. Oh, they're great.
They're so kooky that they're cool.
Got Caught Stealing, one of my top 10 favorite records of all time.
They didn't sound like anybody, especially the rhythmic qualities of Jane's Addiction. Stephen Perkins' drumming, Perry's voice and his melodies, and Dave's guitar playing, just unbelievable band.
Alice in Chains. I think that band was utterly genius. Wayne Staley's voice is amazing. Jerry Cantrell's songwriting and his singing is amazing. Great, great band.
Out of a lot of those Seattle bands, they were definitely one of the darkest. But, at the same time, they were all amazing songs with just amazing guitar playing. It just created a sound that was just so haunting and so beautiful.
What I loved about Alice was the way they treated the vocals, the atmospherics on the vocals. They weren't scared to be really melodic, particularly at a time when a lot of other bands were trying to get the muddiest guitar sound they could possibly find.
We've done a lot of great music together and accomplished a lot of things, and that's very special to me. We were a part of a group of bands that put our stamp on the map, actually, you know, or on the world for that matter. And that's something to be proud of.
One of the important things about Rage is that we are able to seduce some people in with the music who then are exposed to a different political message.
They created a very distinctive sound and approach to their music, but they're unusual because of their political format. They have very strong beliefs about what's going on in the world.
They stand for something, they believe in something, and they're willing to put their careers on the line for it.
They're the Led Zeppelin of their genre. They're the Rolling Stones of their genre. They're it.
Rage Against the Machine is great. It's almost science fiction, social fiction. The machine, the system. It's a good idea. It's a really good idea. But it's great.
Throughout the history of hard rock, there have been many different styles. But one thing has remained constant. Lots and lots of hair. Thousands of viewers logged on to VH1.com to help us determine the hairiest band in hard rock. Coming up, more umlauts than a German dictionary, and the strange ambitions of a heavy metal legend.
I think it was Lemmy who said, "We want to be the band, but if we moved next door to you, your lawn would die."
When we return to VH1's 100 Greatest Artists of Hard Rock. Essential to any rock retrospective is a band whose psychedelic sound was set ablaze by the antics of one of rock's original bad boys.
I can't put the Doors in a category of just like a regular rock band. This changed my life.
It was, I guess, the beginning of kind of psychedelic music.
After the Doors, a whole new world opened up to me. Probably one of the most artistic bands of that particular time period because they incorporated jazz and poetry and blues together, and of course Jim was Jim. There was no one else like him.
I kind of looked at the Doors and heard them almost like when you're a little kid opening up a music box. It really intrigued me.
Jim was just a powerful individual and a poetic lyricist.
I remember the first time I heard like Light My Fire, it was totally not like anything else.
They were one of the best bands in history.
it was something new and unique to rock and roll.
Lieben, Glauben, Globen.
Sheffield, England's Def Leppard clawed their way into the UK metal scene in the late 70s. Running the hard rock combo was Joe Elliott, still a teenager when the band was signed on to support AC/DC and Sammy Hagar on tour.
I used to stand in my room and try to scream like Joe Elliott. I couldn't do it, man. All that high. My mom would be like, "Shut the hell up! What the hell are you doing in there?"
The band's catchy adrenaline rock kept Def Leppard at the top of the exploding 80s metal scene, but the lows were as low as the highs were high. 1988 saw the loss of guitarist Steve Clark, who died of an overdose. This only 4 years after drummer Rick Allen's loss of his left arm in a car wreck.
The drummer lost his arm, and they managed to stay together. They stuck by their mate. And whatever else it's about that.
With or without tragedy, 40 million albums sold worldwide are a testament to the bite that Def Leppard has taken out of rock and roll.
They were totally on their own trip, you know. It was like they weren't really trying to be like anything else. They were doing something that was so original.
Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Give it away, give it away, give it away now.
I saw the Chili Peppers at a time in my life where I was trying to kind of decide what it is I wanted to do with music. And where they blew my mind was they opened up my perception of what was possible.
Well, nobody was playing funk in the 80s. And nobody did that, especially white guys.
One thing that's undeniable is the talent of Flea. He is a fantastic, unbelievable bassist.
That's probably what got me slapping on the bass. Is that, because he didn't just slap, he was banging that thing.
People came to see us play. Let's entertain them. Let's give them a spectacle. Let's do everything we can within our power to give these people the greatest rock show in the world. To me, that's something to really be proud of.
I know for sure that life is beautiful around the world.
I think the Peppers' music is really about freedom. They really had no boundaries on what they were willing to do.
My kiss.
Wild both on and off the stage, this fast lane LA foursome epitomized rock star excess and managed to stay in the limelight even when many of their hair band contemporaries had begun to fade away.
With glam looks and grand libidos, Motley Crue's amplified attitude turned them into genuine heavy metal monsters.
Everybody was cutting their hair and skinny ties and crap, and I'm like, I'm not going to do this crap. I'm going to grow my hair to my ass and play the loudest, rudest music ever. Just give them something to watch. So that's why we went like over the top with our look, you know, with our dress, with our show, you know, and we're always trying to top ourselves from the last time.
1980 saw Motley Crue enjoy a string of multi-platinum albums and sold-out shows. A feat made even more impressive given the band's reputation for hedonistic excess.
I'm amazed I'm alive, but I'm amazed they're all alive, you know. I mean, we on the one tour we did together, it was like pirates on the road.
Yet despite the trappings of rock stardom, the Crue's high-energy stage show packed stadiums and knocked out fans.
It was a great show, that drum thing that Sonny had, you know, turning around, upside down. And that was great. That was a great original idea.
When it's not time to do it anymore, I think that you gracefully bow out. And hopefully it left a nice little scar on the face of the music industry.
The Canadian power trio Rush stepped into the limelight with their 1976 milestone, 2112. Alex Lifeson's complex guitar composition, sandwiched between Geddy Lee's fat-bottom bass and high-pitched vocals, were brought up to speed by the gymnastic drumming of Neil Peart.
My first impression of Rush was God on drums. Neil Peart, I mean, everything he did was unbelievable. And you can't forget, Geddy and Alex, man. God, great band.
Musically, they've carved an incredible niche. They created their own language. I actually proposed to my wife because of one of their songs, and I heard these words, and it just kind of, it kind of slapped me into reality, and I went back and put the ring on her finger because of a Rush song.
He's just one of those guys who could just blow the doors off an establishment.
Iggy Pop, great example of how music could be good therapy for the soul.
The Stooges were so pure. What they were doing at the time was just utterly savage. They did not treat the music kindly. Who gets it? That's why he's still around. That's why he's still the man.
The guy's got so much natural energy.
I'm gonna give you a wild one. Wild one. Wild one. Wild one.
I'm known more for,
He was really exciting. He was such raw energy. That's what attracted me to rock.
Rock and roll always contained those things. I think I just pushed it a little farther.
It was just this flat-out, violent, sexual genius who played this utterly timeless music.
He's such a genius, lowbrow and highbrow pushed together in the most violent way.
Sure hope I don't end up on the street.
And it's great,
Raw human primal power.
Iggy has enriched the world more than almost any other public figure I can think of.
This is dedicated to all guys that played as long, as fast, and as loud as we have.
Oh, you can't deny Motorhead's music. No way.
We've loved the aggression of punk, but we wanted a little more.
And that's when really I discovered Motorhead.
Motorhead's a great example of a band that's like gum on your shoe, man. They just won't go away.
They were just this wall of sound.
Motorhead album I bought was Ace of Spades. Went home, put it on. I'm like, how the hell are these guys playing this fast? This is the most Ace of Spades, the most insane thing I've ever heard in my life.
We don't have a large fan base in America, but the ones that we have got, they kill for us, you know. And that's exactly as it should be. Because we never let them down.
They were like the first hard rock, heavy metal band that it was okay for the punks to like. Like you could be a punk rock guy with a Motorhead patch on the back of your jacket.
Motorhead is the direct link to Metallica and Anthrax. People always ask, how come you guys started playing faster than the Maidens and the Priests before you? It's because of Motorhead.
I think it was Lemmy who said, we want to be the band that if we moved next door to you, your lawn would die. I thought that was pretty hot.
No bad baby, I don't care.
After the break, the second British invasion ignites, and an unorthodox recipe for rock stardom.
They have this wacky combination that rock's never seen before. You got the two good-looking guys, and then you got the two other guys, and he says this combination's going to work. And he was right.
We'll continue counting down VH1's 100 greatest artists of hard rock. Stay tuned. While a tour of Japan often comes at the end of an American rock band's career, this next quartet demonstrated how rocking overseas can be a great place to start.
This next one is the first song on our new album.
I think Cheap Trick have all of the essential elements of great entertainment of any sort. They're genuine. That is, they don't pull their punches at any point.
I think that Surrender is probably one of the best rock songs ever written.
I want you to want me. I love that song. It's great, man. We used to have it on 8-track, play it in the car, live at Budokan.
There are moments of rage and ugliness and power in their music, but there are also things about it that are genuinely pretty and elegant.
The support slot for opening up for Kiss, and I remember Ace telling me, he says, these guys are going to be huge. He says, they have this wacky combination that rock's never seen before. You got the two good-looking guys, and then you got the two other guys, and he says, this combination is going to work. And he was right.
First impression of Iron Maiden was walking to a record store and seeing their first album cover, seeing Eddie's face and going, that's the raddest thing I've ever seen. Oh my God, you know, Night of the Living Dead, what is this?
I remember getting Killers on cassette before it was released and going, wow, what a great new sound.
Maiden was the first band that, for me in metal to come along since Sabbath that just, they ruled my life.
Founded in London in 1976, Iron Maiden led the new wave of British heavy metal. Their U.S. success kicked into high gear with the addition of lead singer and noted swordsman Bruce Dickinson, whose wailing vocals matched perfectly with the band's guitar fury. With little or no airplay, Maiden managed to crank out 7 consecutive gold records, cementing their status as one of heavy metal's major monsters.
The other band is kind of like a, wham bam thank you man, poof, and then it's gone. Their last year's thing. Maiden has been around for 20 plus years. Those guys are survivors, and it doesn't seem to me as if Iron Maiden is in it to have a #1 single or be the hippest band of the moment. They're in it because they love music and they love playing music.
Judas Priest's roots trace back to Birmingham, England, 1969. 5 years later, they'd be ready to take on the U.S.
I came to North America with Iron Maiden supporting Judas Priest, and I found out how big they were, and it was a real big revelation to me. Seeing Judas Priest was a bit like witnessing a mechanized panzer assault. I mean, that's really what it felt like. It was like a machine rolling over you. Rob Halford's voice was like, nobody screamed like that. He holds the mic, and the whole PA just goes...
Judas Priest lost the vocal power of Halford when he left the band in '92. The remaining members weren't sure they could fill his mighty shoes. That was until they met Judas Priest cover band singer Tim "Ripper" Owens. After 25 years of touring and recording, Judas Priest continues on with their own brand of bone-crunching heavy metal.
Coming up next, the Pacific Northwest heats up, and 4 simple chords change the world of rock.
I've never seen anything that combined the power, the volume, energy, the whole thing. It was just like...
When VH1's 100 Greatest Artists of Hard Rock continues. One of heavy metal's longest running and most influential acts, this next band once graced the pages of the Guinness Book as the world's loudest band.
Deep Purple, Smoke on the Water.
Basically just 4 notes.
Dun, dun, dun.
Deep Purple had so many other songs that were great songs.
Dun, 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 dun.
If that's the song they want to pick on and say it's wonderful, great.
One of the legendary rock riffs of all time.
Deep Purple, that were one of the all-time greats.
My dad took me and a couple other friends to go see Deep Purple. I'd never seen anything that combined the power, the volume, the energy, the whole thing. It was just like...
My first concert ever, Madison Square Garden. I was 15 years old. They would jam for, 20 minutes at a clip, and it was always very interesting. band full of great musicians. John Lord, what a organ player. Drummer Ian Pace was out of his mind. Roger Glover, a great bass player. Of course, Richie Blackmore, another guy that shaped me as a guitar player.
Deep Purple were cool. I mean, they were one of the early heaviest bands around.
Very influential metal band. I mean, so many, it's not like Highway Star, Smoke on the Water. I mean, it must have bore a million hard rock bands.
Pearl Jam I really like. I thought that they were one of the most powerful bands that I'd ever seen.
They embody a spirit that is fierce and independent.
It really was a breath of fresh air. Everything was sounding very clinical. Everyone played to a drum machine, and Pearl Jam sort of brought it all back to more live feel.
He's got one of those voices that you just immediately love. Totally immersed himself. Very emotional. He was just one of the most riveting lead singers that I've ever seen in my life.
Sense of freedom in their music, so it really clicked with people right away.
That's it for this hour of VH1's 100 Greatest Artists of Hard Rock. Coming up next, we will count down the top 20 and reveal the artist voted #1.